Ethan here. We've got the pscyh0pod, episode 1. They're letting anyone do a fucking podcast these days, so I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna do one too. So this episode, we are grading all 10 head coach hirings this year, and then we got a little additional NFL draft, early my guys. I did this about a week ago before I got into more tape, and my guys have completely changed, but I still like these guys. They're kind of my guys. So, this will hopefully be a weekly thing. But knowing me, I'm super inconsistent, so who knows? It's just whatever my brain decides it wants to do. So, first one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know why the Steelers hired Mike McCarthy. I mean, Mike Tomlin, like I put in the notes, like Mike Tomlin walked away from the team as one of the most accomplished coaches ever. He left this team because of the constant mediocrity, and he could coach really any team to almost a 500 record, but when he's not pushing that team or that team isn't elevating themselves further in the playoffs, that wasn't a situation he wanted to be anymore. Insert Mike McCarthy, who's basically going to do the same thing. You thought when Mike Tomlin left, they would replace him with a younger coach, a guy who could bring more upside to this team. Mike McCarthy doesn't bring upside to this team. He brings stability. So my grade more or less represents my thoughts on Mike McCarthy, and also how I feel like they've completely mismanaged the situation here in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin leaving on his own accord was the best opportunity you had to get one of these young guns in a head coach. You know, a guy like, I don't know if you would have been interested, but like Clint Kubiak was available. Chris Shula was available. Mike LaFleur even was available. I don't even really like him that much, but he was available. You could have went after one of these younger coaches and built something with this Steelers team. You know, you have a roster that if you bring in a young coach, you can still go around 500, maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. But over time, your floor raises with your ceiling when you have one of those young guys. I just don't like this hire. I don't like the philosophy behind this hire. It just doesn't make much sense to me. But as a positive, like I said, he brings a high floor, proven success. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. It was 10 years ago now, but I thought that Mike McCarthy with Dallas was just very bland. I think that offense got a lot better once he left. But also maybe another positive is a little bit of stability here. Maybe Rodgers returns another year to reunite with McCarthy. I know they kind of soured towards the end of Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay, but I mean, it could happen. So, like I said, grade's D+. I'm a very harsh grader. I'm going to put that out there. I'm a very, very harsh grader. Especially with the coaching hires this year. Not many of them really stuck to me or like, ooh, that was a good hire. There's like maybe 3 or 4 of them. I was like, oh, okay, I really like that hire. All right, water break. Water break like it's not a Diet Mountain Dew sitting next to me. Real big bag shit. Miami Dolphins, Jeff Hafley. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm a little more optimistic about this. But listen, a lot of fans dislike it. A lot of people thought we were going to get Chris Shula. He did not want to come here. If he wanted to come here, he would have came here. He would have had the stamp of approval. Fucking give him whatever money. Get us Chris Shula. He didn't want to come here. And I mean, like I said, Jeff Hafley is not a bad consolation. John Eric Sullivan, I love the GM hiring. If he trusts Jeff Hafley to install a physical, imposing brand of football defensively and offensively and turn Miami into a bit of a Green Bay South, 100% I like that. Just to get in some common misconceptions about Jeff Hafley and why he received a C grade. His defenses in Green Bay were pretty damn great before getting Micah Parsons, and those defenses became elite with Micah Parsons. And when Micah Parsons went down, listen, the defense did get a little worse, but think about the Browns. If the Browns lost Myles Garrett mid-season, their defense would get worse, no? So, obviously, when you lose your best player, your defense is bound to decrease its production, get a little worse because you've built your entire game plan about having that player on your team. The mismatches he creates, shifting the offensive line to his size, chipping, double teams. When you have Micah Parsons, he changes your game plan and he changes your opponent's game plan. When you lose Micah Parsons randomly in the middle of the year to ACL tear, that changes your defense completely. And I think all things considered, he helped that Green Bay Packers team get into the playoffs. And listen, they may have lost in the first round of the playoffs, but he got them there. That defense hung around even after losing Parsons and was competitive throughout that year. Even the playoffs, they were very competitive. Getting into his head coach experience, he started from the bottom as a head coach, coached at Boston College. He was all right at Boston College. He was a really good leader, but he started coaching before the NIL era, and then he was like 2019, 2020, 2021, I want to say. So he got that very beginning of the NIL era, and he said, nah, fuck that, I'm leaving. So in a sense, I can't be mad about that. I mean, not many coaches wanted to coach in the NIL era, stemming from the pre to the post NIL era. But everything I've seen about him, he's a great leader, wants to impose a physical mentality, and I think that is a good hire for the Dolphins, even if he stays for like 3 years. Say he stays for 3 years, goes 500, but he helps install an imposing physical mentality for this football team. Any coach walking in and inheriting that would be very happy. I think Dolphins fans in general would love to see a physically imposing football team after having Mike McDaniel, who just didn't bring any of that. Jeff Hafley's the opposite of Mike McDaniel, for better or worse, is what I'm trying to say. To our next candidate, Todd Monken. Listen, I didn't think the Browns should have even fired Kevin Stefanski. Honestly, I understand that you need to change. You need a fresh face. In that sense, I don't mind it at all. I mean, if you need a fresh face, you need a fresh face. But Jesus, holy lisp right there. But if you were gonna bring in a new guy, I don't know if Todd Monken would have been my first choice. Like I said, it was just time for change. Not really moved by it. He's a first-time NFL head coach. His only other head coaching gig was Southern Miss in like 2015 or 2013 to 2015. Just putting out there, I'm really happy to see him get a head coaching gig. But after this past year with the Ravens offense was really down last year. But you can't accredit a lot of that to Lamar Jackson being hurt with a hamstring, coming back and still kind of recovering off of that hamstring. So I think you can't hold too much weight on that. But his previous years offensively were really good. So, I mean, if you're holding last year as more like indicative of what his offense will be with the Browns, then sure, I personally think that Lamar Jackson opened up his offense a lot and allowed him to be very creative with Lamar. And that's why his offense was so good. I mean, when you have a Lamar Jackson and you know how to scheme him up, you're bound to be a pretty damn good offense. But he's stepping in a situation where you have no O-line, no real quarterback, no receivers, some pretty damn good tight ends, but David Njoku is a free agent if he returns. And I mean, you had an electric rookie running back last year in Quinshon Judkins who fractured his ankle and may miss some time at the beginning of the year. So offensively, there's a lot to work with here and a lot to build up. Not a lot to work with. There's a lot to work on and build up. Also, side note, he was on the cursed 2019 Browns coaching staff, and there was a teach tape or a coaching clinic he did where he was like, you learn something at every stop. And they asked him what he learned in 2019 with the Browns, and the slide was just completely empty, and he skipped it. He said, I didn't learn shit. It was really funny. Personality-wise, I love Todd Monken. I think he gives head coach vibes. And, I mean, beyond that, I mean, I think it's okay hire. I mean, really, most of these hires this year just really didn't move me much at all. It was kind of just like oh, okay, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I mean, not great, not bad, but I'll take it. Let's see. Next one, Joe Brady. Another one, literally, just to see. I mean, he has a great relationship with Josh Allen. He's done great things with Josh Allen. I personally thought this was going to be a Brian Daboll spot. I thought that Daboll has shown that he can be a head coach in the league. And listen, you can say what you want about Daboll. I didn't think he was awful with the Giants. But, I mean, if you thought that he should be gone, then sure, 100%, I wouldn't disagree with you. I know a lot of Giants fans didn't really want him around. So I thought this was going to be a spot for Brian Daboll. But they go Joe Brady. They go with an internal hire. And like I said at the bottom, I mean, there's just not much to say. I mean, he's been at LSU, Carolina, where he was the OC for a year and had one good year and then got kind of scapegoated the second year when they had like Darnold, Baker that year of Panthers football, which is god awful. And then he's like been at multiple stops and had a lot of success, and the players love him. Like Justin Jefferson loves him. Like all those LSU receivers that he coached love him to death. His players with the Bills, his offensive players, love him. Like there's just, he can lead. I'm very confident that he can lead and he has the personality to lead. We just haven't seen him do it yet. I don't think he's been a head coach at any stop he's been at. He's been a coordinator a few times, and he's been a damn good coordinator with the Bills. I mean, he took over after Ken Dorsey and did very well with this Bills offense. I'm pretty sure Dorsey took over for Dable, and then Dorsey was let go and Brady took over for him. But yeah, I mean, Joe Brady, I mean, unlike Monken, there's not really much to say here. I mean, it's just kind of an okay hire. I mean, it's not a high hire, like a great hire, but it's not the worst hire ever. I mean, you got rid of McDermott. I thought for sure, I was like, oh, Brian Dable's going there. If they're getting rid of McDermott, like they have their guy in line. I personally just thought that guy was Brian Dable, but in reality, it was Joe Brady. So that's really all I have to say there. It's a C. I don't mind it. Mike LaFleur, another one. I just really don't mind it. I mean, what really sticks in my mind is thinking about those early 2020s Jets offenses that he coordinated with Zach Wilson, and I think that really stains his resume a lot. You can 100% say that Jets team sucked. You can say Zach Wilson sucked, but he has some really good coaching spots he's been at. He's been with Shanahan and McVay, both of them, for a long time. But I think that tenure he did have with the Jets as the main play caller does really say, oh, like, can this guy take over play calling responsibilities? Because he went to Los Angeles. He wasn't the play caller there. He kind of had the Kevin O'Connell thing where Kevin O'Connell wasn't the play caller with the Rams, but he was the offensive coordinator. And we've seen multiple people leave the Rams as offensive coordinators, but not play callers, and go be head coaches. I mean, you got Zach Taylor. That one's kind of been whatever. Mike LaFleur. Kevin O'Connell looked good at first. And then you had a guy who was underneath Zach Taylor in Brian Callahan, who went to the Titans and sucked there. So, I mean, this whole coaching tree, Shanahan, McVay, Zach Taylor does not have a coaching tree. He's an extension of that. There's a little extension down there. It's been very hit or miss with these guys who come out as OCs and go be a head coach and become a play caller, because Shanahan and McVay, they will always have control of the play calling duties. But also, like I specified at the bottom here, 38 years old. The hire's a C now, but it could age very well down the road. I mean, he's 38, he's very young, but he's also got a lot of experience for a 38-year-old head coach now. And I definitely do see a world where he kind of has like a Kevin O'Connell thing where, you know, he comes on very strong and can get the team rolling offensively. Because he has a lot to work with offensively. You have Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, the best tight end in the league, in my opinion. You have Paris Johnson Jr., who's a great left tackle. Running back, I might be missing somebody, but I don't think there's much at running back there. I mean, you have Trey Benson, who I like coming out, but he hasn't really shown too much in the league. James Conner had that really nasty fractured and dislocated ankle early in the year, I want to say. And then quarterback, you got a lot to deal with the Kyler Murray thing, the Jacoby Brissett thing. I am planning on doing a off-season trade prediction video after seeing that it's likely that Max Crosby gets moved, so that's definitely going to be on my radar next, and Kyler Murray will be in that video. Next, Robert Saleh. We get into C+. Listen, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for Robert Saleh. I think he got scapegoated out of New York. I think he's a great head coach, leader of men, phenomenal defensive coach. I mean, he's elite defensively. I mean, every stop he's been at as a defensive coordinator has had an elite defense. And if not elite, damn good defense. The Jets, they had good defenses those years. Those high scores that got ran up were from the ineptitude of this guy's offense. So, I think that Saleh, maybe he can't hire an OC to save his life, but he hired Brian Dable in Tennessee, if I'm not stupid. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think he hired Brian Dable. That's a damn good OC hire. I like the pairing of Dable and Cam Ward a lot. So that also kind of boosts this rating up a little bit. But I think for the Titans, you hired Bill Callahan thinking he'd be this kind of unsung young offensive coordinator who kind of comes in, gets the head coaching job, play calling duties, and balls out. Fuck no, that shit did not happen. It was terrible. Awful offense, unprepared. He had no business being a head coach. And I think for Saleh here, more than anything, this is a big chance at redemption. How things went down in New York were not completely his fault. They chose to go in a different direction. And a comment he made was he'll be able to call plays defensively now, which has always been his calling card as a defensive coordinator. Why in the hell New York, the Jets, did not allow him to call defensive plays was like beyond me. Like I put down there, Jets moment. Yeah, like why are you not letting him call plays defensively? That is his bread and butter. Phenomenal at coaching in getting the best out of his players defensively. But why would you take play call, not let him call plays? That's it's so dumb. The Jets are just consistently doing dumb stuff. They'll be in this video next year. Don't even sweat it. Aaron Glenn will be gone. Next, Clint Kubiak. This is one that, man, I love this. I love it so much. Like I said, cannot put it in words how massive a hire this is for the Raiders. Kubiak was the premier offensive guy this hiring cycle. 100%. It was Kubiak and then a complete tier below him. Kubiak has done a great job getting Sam Darnold in. Listen, Kevin O'Connell may have fixed Sam Darnold's career or Shanahan before he went to Minnesota, but Kubiak has Darnold playing out of his mind. The way he has schemed that offense up and maximized the value of a guy like JSN and how he is tailoring that offense and getting JSN and Rashid Shaheed and all of these guys the ball is just beyond me. He's got Jake Bobo playing like a serviceable NFL wide receiver after he ran like a 4.88 or something like that, like almost ran a 5, or he might have actually ran a 5 in the 40. The big thing for this, I love the idea of Kubiak pairing up with Fernando Mendoza. That is just perfect. You bring in a number 1 overall pick quarterback with an experienced young OC who's already shown that he can work with a less mobile quarterback in Sam Darnold. I mean, just peak cinema. Like, that's going to be great. If they can get some good offensive pieces in here, because their O-line is poor, very poor. Besides, like, Colton Miller and Jackson Powers-Johnson, who I'm pretty fond of. But, I mean, this could be really fun next year. I'm not saying the Raiders will be good next year, but it could be really fun. They could win, like, 6 or... God damn it, I did the thing. Like, 6 or perhaps 7 games next year. Listen, I know. I just really like Stefanski. I gave us a B. Listen. Before the pitchforks come out, 2-time Coach of the Year winner, Mickey Mouse or not, the second time, the defense was really good. But listen, he's led them around to the playoffs, didn't have a consistent QB, and that was mostly because he got the best out of Baker Mayfield at that point in Baker's career, and then they got rid of Baker and were like, hey, we want Deshaun Watson. Like, yeah, that's the guy we want to come lead our organization. Did he sexually assault almost 30 women? That's fine. Go give up some picks and bring him in. That's my guy. Like, are we serious? That's on the owner, not on Stefanski. But that's the card that Stefanski is dealing with. The cards that he was dealing with. No first-round picks. Like, some years they had no second-round picks after that trade. Like, it was terrible. They had, like, no way to acquire talent after making that trade. I think that Stefanski can really scheme up the Falcons' running game. I mean, you have Bijan Robinson at running back. When Stefanski had Nick Chubb was a beast. He can do even more with Bijan Robinson, who can catch the ball out of the backfield very well. You have Drake London, who is an elite receiver, would be the best receiver Stefanski's ever coached, except for maybe a year of Amari Cooper, but whatever. Tight end, if they bring back Kyle Pitts, I'm sure he could scheme up Kyle Pitts the same way he was scheming up Harold Fannin Jr. or David Njoku. I mean, I like this pickup for the Falcons because it is a scenario where they bring in a proven head coach to come take over this team and to get the most out of their offense. They are an offensive football team. Even with Raheem Morris as the head coach, this team has been known under Morris to be a offensive-minded football team. And getting rid of Morris and hiring Stefanski is a good step forward in solidifying this team as an offensive football team. Water break. Or do break. Do the do. Let's see. John Harbaugh to the Giants. B+. Listen. Like I said in this PowerPoint. Experience is paramount. Most experienced head coaching candidate available. Was great with the Ravens. Listen. Towards the end of the tenure there, it was clear they just needed to move on. I think the biggest reason why the Ravens moved on from Harbaugh really wasn't even. It was maybe 60-40, like 40% Harbaugh and 60% the fact that they let Mike Macdonald out of the building. A very talented defensive coordinator that went on to have immediate success with the Seahawks, and now they're playing in the Super Bowl this weekend. So I think that was really the reason they wanted to get younger and stop missing out on these really good coordinators that they are just churning out of Harbaugh's coaching tree. And I think for the Giants, this is a great thing for the Giants. I mean, Harbaugh's bringing in Matt Nagy, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, he'll get to call plays, so that's good for his career moving forward for Nagy if this goes well. And then the next thing we brought up, I mean, culture shift. He wants to change his organization from the top to the bottom. And I really like that. I mean, Harbaugh's coming in. You know what you're getting with Harbaugh. He's not a specialist in any area of football, really. I mean, he's a specialist in leading men and being a CEO. But, he's not like an offensive guy or a defensive guy. He doesn't have that kind of that kind of pedigree. But what he does have is he can hire a damn good staff, except for the Greg Roman thing. But he can hire a damn good staff. And he can lead, and he can, he's been doing this for a long time. So experience is really what pushes us up, because the Giants, you need that. You have some talented players there, and if he brings in a good staff, which I believe, in my opinion, he's done that, this can really help elevate a Giants team that feels like they can really play for 500 next year and maybe even sneak into the wild card, depending how the NFC East plays out. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. And to my favorite head coaching hire of the cycle, and who I think was the best candidate and will be the best moving forward, Jesse Minter, B+. Listen, after letting Mike McDonald walk out of the building, this is the best thing they could do. Go get Jesse Minter. Coached under Jim Harbaugh at Michigan and with the Chargers. He has been just phenomenal. His defense with the Chargers has been so good. And listen, the Chargers haven't had the most talent on the defensive side of the ball, but he has done such a good job at maximizing that talent. And the thing up at the bottom, experience with Derwin James makes you feel real nicey about what he'll do with Kyle Hamilton. Listen, Kyle Hamilton's better than Derwin James, but they are 1A, 1B, damn near, when it comes to nickel defenders. So I really like what he'll do with Kyle Hamilton. I think overall he will get a lot out of this Baltimore Ravens defense, and I mean, it looks good. I mean, listen, he's not been a head coach in the NFL, whatever. Neither had Mike McDonald, and he left Baltimore and led the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. So, not to continuously compare the two, but I like the Jesse Minter hire. I really like the Mike McDonald hire. And I think that Minter walking into a Ravens defense that is very talented, has a lot of front seven talent. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Nnamdi Madubuike or what's going on there. But even beyond, there's a lot of talent defensively, and you have Lamar Jackson on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you can't really ask for much more when you're choosing a head coaching gig. So I think Jesse Minter and the Ravens are just a match made in heaven. All right. We're here with my mic guys, and listen, I know, I can't quit him. I love Drew Aller. Listen, he's not gonna go in the first 3 rounds of the draft, maybe in the 4th round or 5th round, but he has the arm talents that make every single throw on the field. I swear. Drew Aller could be good, I say, as they drag me in a straitjacket to the padded room in the back. But, listen, the pros here, I mean, arm talent is top tier. Ideal size and weight, is a bit athletic. Not superb athletically. He's not like a Josh Allen. But, I mean, he can get out of the pocket a little bit. Can't throw on the run to save his life. But he can get out of the pocket. If he gets out and gets running, he can get through some arm tackles, bounce off of some defensive backs, whatever. Really young still. He's only 22, true senior. Started for 3 years. I mean, didn't start all of those games. This year he played a few games, maybe, God damn it. Say 6, 7 again. 6 or 7 games. And then he got hurt. He fractured his ankle, or I don't know. He did something to his lower half, ankle. I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. He was playing like shit, so I wasn't paying attention. I was just agenda pushing, so I wasn't looking at the bad games. All jokes aside. I think he definitely could become a pretty good high upside swing in the later rounds. I would take a swing on Drew Aller instead of a Taylon Green. I'll say that. Taylor Green is dog. He's ass. But Drew Aller, he's also ass, but he's like ethical ass. I think he needs to work on his processing a lot. Like pre-snap processing is good. Post-snap, oh my god. Like if you run cover 2 invert, he's like, holy shit, I've never seen this in my life. I'm like, bro, you've played in the Big Ten for 4 years. What are you doing? When it comes to his pre-snap problems, he does predetermined reads. So there is a little bit of work pre-snap, but I think even pre-snap, if he predetermines, he can look at the coverage and know where he should go with the football. And that's when some of his nice, like, intermediate throws across the middle of the field happen. But pre-snap, I mean, it just... I feel like some coverages, he just can't read it. And then post-snap, like, if they rotate out or they give him something exotic, he's like, oh, shit, like, what just happened? Speaking of his development, that does worry me a little bit. I know that the injury obviously stunts his development, and he had a good 2024. That year they went into the college football playoff, that was a good year. I thought that after that, he could definitely be a second-round draft pick or maybe sneak into the first, depending on how he played this past year in 2025. Didn't happen. Even when he did play his senior year in 2025 this year, or this past year, unimpressive. Like, it just was not impressive. Even against FIU, he didn't look great. And to the biggest, like, WTF of his game, his footwork is so bad. I mean, he's just so inaccurate because his footwork is so bad. Like, I've not seen, like... It's ridiculous. If you haven't seen, like, his footwork or seen him sail some easy throws, it's awful. For pro comp, I don't have it on here, but I have it written down next to me on a piece of paper. Jacob Eason, if you guys remember him, former Georgia and Washington quarterback, they remind me so much of each other, athletically, build-wise, skill set-wise. And I like Jacob Eason, but Jacob Eason also came out when I was like, God, when did he get drafted? Like 2019, 2020? I was like 14. I'm 20 now, and I still haven't changed. I still love these quarterbacks. It's what having Tua Tagovailoa as your quarterback does to you, bro. Like, you crave a big quarterback that can sling that. Running back, Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest product. He's 22, 5'9", 187. He is small. I won't lie to y'all. He's small. But the contact balance for a sub 190 guy is really good. He bounces off of guys. He bounces off of guys. Low center of gravity, bounces off of you. His change of direction is very good. He's not a super long speed guy. But, like, he's not bad long speed either, though. Like, I think he'll run, like, a 4.4 to 4.5. Like, anywhere in the middle of that range. Like, maybe a 4.45, 4.5. But he does pretty good accelerating past the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's a crazy long speed guy. Like he's just not like a big home run hitter, but once he gets to the line of scrimmage, he bursts and he accelerates very fast. But if you're accelerating to like a slower, I'm trying to think how to explain this. If you accelerate really fast, but you top out of your max speed, if your max speed isn't super high, he's that kind of player where his max speed is good. But if he's a 5'9", 187-pound running back, you want him to be blazing downfield. And he's just not really doing that. But he's really shifty, and he accelerates very quickly. So he does make good angles look bad when you're trying to tackle him. Good hands. Can catch in the backfield. Can't really be a third down back because he's 187 pounds and he gets whooped. He gets smoked in pass protection sometimes. But as a kickoff returner, he brings a lot. And that really plays into my pro comp for him that I'll say later because you know I gotta edge y'all and keep y'all listening. Very short, very light. Wake Forest had him listed a whole 10 pounds heavier and an inch taller. Like I said, third down like he can catch, but he can't be a third down back. He can't block. So if he's not running a route, you know he ain't gonna block you. Like I said, long speed, isn't super crazy breakaway speed. Fumbles. He fumbled 7 times this year. He's fumbled 10 times in the past 2 years. He fumbled 7 times this year. How do you fumble 7 times? Like, that's actually ridiculous. Like, you could give me 7 carries and line me up head up with Ray Lewis. I'll probably fumble 7 times. But you're a D1 athlete, bro. You're playing at Wake Forest. You're like a 3 or 4 year starter at Wake Forest. How are you fumbling 7 times a year? It just doesn't make sense. And I love the Mon Claiborne, by the way. I'm not like trying to be a dick right now. I'm kind of being a dick. But like, dude, like 7 fumbles is actually crazy. But for the pro comp here, Nyheim Hines. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he wasn't the fastest guy ever, but he was a good kickoff returner. Had the similar size profile, could catch the ball out of the backfield, but also wasn't really a third down back because he couldn't block. All right. This one's definitely going to piss some people off because my pro comp for him is actually kind of diabolical, but I couldn't think of anything better. Chris Bell. Listen, Chris Bell. I mean, dude, he's not the best receiver in the class, but oh my God. Like, he is. I'm not going to comp him to A.J. Brown. I mean, listen, I say he's built like A.J. Brown. He has the same physical build as A.J. Brown. Capable blocker. Really does a good job catching with his hands. Also uses his hands to win in press coverage. Like, he swipes, he gets aggressive and uses his hands to beat press coverage. If his feet aren't there and his release package isn't there, he can use his hands to accommodate for that. His long speed is phenomenal. He is a burner. I mean, obviously with the ACL, we're not going to see him run. We'll see him run on crutches, or maybe he'll get in the back of a golf cart and do the 40-yard dash, but he's not running. The rack ability, oh my God. Like, put the ball in his hands, and he's like Treylon Burks level good as a college player with the ball in his hands. I mean, he's got great vision, strength, contact balance. I mean, he just bounces right off of you. He's strong enough to break through the arm tackles. I really like how he attacks blind spots downfield. If he's running a streak, he can really stack you up and attack that blind spot and just run the red line and get to the ball. Even if the ball doesn't come his way, he can still show that he attacks there. And eventually they're going to throw the ball his way. Deep ball is really like his bread and butter. If he's not running a little sloppy drag or sloppy over, his deep ball, he can win on it. He can win on those streaks and those posts. The biggest thing I love about him, there's swag. He's got dog. You just can't quantify that. He's got dog. He's very confident. He plays confident. He's got that dog in him. But to the cons, a lot of cons. Tore his ACL late into his senior campaign at Louisville. Recovery timetable probably won't be available for much of his rookie year, if any of his rookie year. The route tree. He can run a great go ball, but oh my God, he cannot run. He can't run routes. Like, he rounds his routes. It's like, oh my God. I mean, it's bad. I mean, genuinely, like, he may have to play out of the slot and run those routes because he's not beating people on the outside at the NFL, running routes like he runs them. I mean, his in-breaking routes aren't in-breaking routes. He's just running it like fucking Spencer James from All-American. Like, I love this player, by the way. I have an early second-round grade on him. But he runs routes on the inside like Spencer James. Like, there's no cut at the top of the route. He's just rounding it. And I don't know if that's a coaching thing at Louisville, because I know Louisville runs a fucking weird, like, RPO offense, too. And they just had him run these routes. I don't know if that's he can't fucking run in routes, so let's just send him on rounded routes every time. Or if that's just how they wanted him to run it and wanted him to get open in space fast. So, that is interesting to think about. Like, is that just how they chose to utilize him, or is that just all he can do? That's always a question with college prospects until they get to the league. And then he's not super twitchy, which I've noticed. He doesn't have that short area or lateral quickness, or at least he doesn't show it on tape in the 4 or 5 games I watched of him, to win on slants and stuff like that, and to really break away when he runs those digs and those, like, short ends. Like, that's also part of him just not fucking running them good at all. Like, he just rounds everything. But I love Chris Bell. Listen, my comp for him is Josh Gordon-esque. Not Josh Gordon, not early career Josh Gordon, but he kind of plays like him just a little bit. It was either that or A.J. Brown. And I'm not going to comp him to A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown's actually a dog. Josh Gordon, you can kind of say, okay, like, he was good, like, maybe, like, 9 years ago. We can accept that. We've all forgotten how good Josh Gordon was. But yeah, I mean, I love Chris Bell. He's awesome. Another player that's awesome. Eli Stowers. Listen, is this guy even a tight end? There's 2 cons, but they're both fucking massive cons. Eli Stowers, he's 6'4", 235, 22 years old, young, but he is a graduate student. Played at Texas A&M as a quarterback, transferred to New Mexico State with Diego Pavia, not together, but he was there with him. moved to tight end, and oh my god, he is a top tier tight end, like athlete. Long speed, wiggle. His route running is still unrefined, but in the sense that he can just run great routes against linebackers and get open. But I still think he has a lot of refining to do. His like separation is great, but I think that a lot of his route running does look good because he can really stress you vertically. And when he snaps off those routes, I mean, you're just going to struggle to catch him. The linebacker's going to struggle to catch him, and a safety playing from a disadvantaged leverage, he's going to struggle to get to him too. He has great hands. He is a hands catcher. If you told me he played receiver his entire life and switched tight end, I believe it because he's a hands catcher. He is great at the catch point, and he just has great rack. He's not like some crazy like put a move on you or juke you out or run right through you, but he is fast. I mean, when he gets that ball, the rack pops because he is just such a fast straight line player. Experience. At tight end, he's not experienced at the tight end. Very new to it, and he's still figuring out the route running aspect, like being more refined and winning on different types of routes. What Vanderbilt gave him, he's very good at. He's good at running the seam. He's good at lining up out wide and running like a hitch and fade concept, and he's the fade guy on the inside at the Z or the F position, running out and getting open on a linebacker in man coverage, or a strong safety who's playing with inside leverage on that fade right outside. But overall, if he's going to be that kind of big time like slot guy or big slot guy, he's got to be a better route runner because he doesn't have that play strength to really go through guys and get open physically at the top of the route. And a lot of the shit he pulls at Vanderbilt probably won't work in the NFL, but if he gets better, 1,000% he can be phenomenal in the league. That's why I have him here with my guys. I love watching Zoo play. He plays slot, receiver. I mean, he's played in the backfield a little bit, not as much, but a little bit. He's played a little bit in line, but it's not really where he does his best work. He does his best work in the slot or lined up just offset at the F position, off the ball, but a little tighter in. My comp for him is, that's another one kind of like Josh Gordon, a little bit of Darren Waller, in the sense they're both going to be really good receiving tight ends that are very athletic, tall guys that win really from the slot, but they both just have great hands. That one's really a loose comp just because I couldn't think off the top of my head of a guy that plays like Stowers. We're going to go to OT here. Max Anacho. I don't have a pro comp for him. Listen, my offensive tackle week is next week. My offensive line week is next week. I haven't watched too much of these guys, but what from I saw from the Senior Bowl in one game that I watched him, liked them a lot. Footwork is great. I mean, you can tell that he's played soccer and basketball. The footwork is really good. He's 23, which does worry you a little bit, but he seems very refined in my opinion for a 23-year-old that just started playing the sport. A lot of his technique stuff that there's a little bit of a problem are things you can fix throughout the first year or two of your NFL career, such as playing too high, leaving the inside of his shoulder pads exposed. Those things happen. Your pad level rises up. You're 6'5". It happens. But he has long enough arms to prevent that. And he just struggles sometimes with getting the hands inside. If you have long arms, you get your hands inside of a guy, even if he has the meanest like double swiper, chops your arms down, if you have active and long arms, you can still reposition very easily, and he's still at a disadvantageous position. But enough with that. What I really like about him, he's nasty, man. Like, he's a run block finisher. He will put you in the dirt. He doesn't stop until the play is over, and he puts you in the dirt. Pass rush wise, obviously very unrefined with his pass protection in the sense of his upper half, but his lower half is phenomenal. He mirrors so well. If he sets you outside and you try and work like an inside move on him to get back inside, he mirrors you back across as you're trying to cross his face. He mirrors you back over and cuts you off very well. So I'm doing it a few times at the Senior Bowl and a couple of times on tape, and man, it just looked really good. Anyone who wants to run the Shanahan like system or any zone blocking system, like zone heavy system, you want him. He can play in a gap scheme as well, or an offense that kind of runs a little bit of both. But he moves guys. He is a move tackle. But he also brings that nasty that you want in a tackle. He's not a weak move tackle. He's not a guy like maybe a prospect a few years ago you can think of as Max Mitchell, who coming out of UL or ULL, Louisiana Lafayette, I don't know if they call it that anymore. I'm not sure. Louisiana. He was a move guy where he was like 6'6", like 310 pounds. He had no power to him, but he could just get in front of you and just drag you along and just wash you out of the play. Not even with strength, but with footwork. Hinachor brings both. And he just is so strong. Even in his lower half and his upper body. His hands are strong. His anchor is very good. Even if you get him, like, if you work a bull on him and you get him to set back like 3 or 4 feet, he will re-anchor. And you're not going to push him any further than that. You maybe get 2 or more steps out of him, but he will anchor very good. And that's very, very good for a tackle. I mean, you have to have that ability to re-anchor, and he does it at a very high level. You got to love him. I mean, he's 100% going in the first round, I feel like. Even, like, after the Senior Bowl, he's going in the first round. I think he'll go, like, anywhere from 17 to, like, 32. I don't know who picked 17. That's just throwing it out there, but I think 17 is the Browns. I think. I don't know. I'm going to the Steelers in my mock. Keelan Rutledge. This is a guy that's probably going in, like, the fourth round, maybe third, fourth, fifth round. Keelan Rutledge is one of those guys that, if you can't tell, I have a type with offensive linemen. I like those big guys who are nasty. Pause. Holy pause. But powerful hands, he finishes blocks. Like I said, likes to finish. Pause. Oh, damn it. Anchor strength as well. Another thing I really value. Grip strength, power in his hands, has the anchor to really settle. Like, get his hands inside you. If you're pushing him back, he will re-anchor. And if you try and swipe those hands off, he has such great grip strength to get behind your chest plate and just hold on. You're not going anywhere. Also a very good mover. He's a little deceptive in that sense. He does get to the second level of the defense good. And, I mean, is he really going to catch guys at the second level of the defense and really latch on to them? Probably not. They're probably a little too athletic for him to get on. But he gets up there. And that's commendable. Combo block demon. Dude, oh my god. I watch him in a few combo blocks. He just gets in there and you're washed out of the play when he comes to get you. A lot of my problems with him were as a pass blocker. The big one, when he does get his hands on you, or if you swat his hands before they can get to you, for some reason he just forgets that he can replace his hands. I mean, he has great grip strength, and maybe he relies on that too much. But I mean, he gets his hands on you, and you find a way to get him off. He's not replacing his hands. I'm like, bro, you have an opportunity here. Your hands go down. You, as an offensive lineman, you should always know if you're in pass pro and your hands get swatted down, use your feet and reposition yourself and replace your hands. Your hands and feet always have to be moving, in the sense that if you shoot your hands into somebody to block them or to get hands on them, your feet aren't stopping. If your feet are moving, your hands are moving too. So I think he does really need to work on getting that mental, what was the word? Like that, that's like routine, or like, God, I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of it. Whatever. Muscle memory. That's what I'm thinking of. But even footwork wise, he gets beat inside. And if he sets out to a 3-tech, they have just an easy path of getting back inside of him, because he doesn't have that lateral movement ability to get back over right now. And I don't think it's because of lack of athleticism. I think he just doesn't have the footwork, and the footwork hasn't been drilled enough for him to learn that. But another problem I have with these damn long arm linemen, they keep shooting outside. They get on the outside shoulder pads. When you're on the outside shoulder pads, you give up your interior, you give up your chest plate, and you know how easy it is to get a holding call when you're holding on the outside? That guy moves to the left or the right, and you're holding on to him still, and your feet don't shuffle or move with him, you're getting called for a holding penalty. I mean, if he tries to get away from you in any way, and you don't follow him where he's going, even if you do follow him upfield and do that, you're getting called for a hold. So these guys got to adjust that. You got to know that you have to get inside And if you do go outside, if you have longer arms and you shoot outside, if you have much longer arms than the person, or you have even somewhat longer arms, if you're outside, you should be able to reposition back inside. And that's something you have to be taught. Leverage. Plays too high. I mean, he's 6'3". He's on the interior though, so it's much more detrimental when you're on the interior of the O-line to play too high. Because you've got no buffer between you and a defensive tackle. If you've got a 3-tech on your right-hand side of your Rutledge playing at right guard, he's in your face immediately. There's no time for you to be standing up right out of your stance. If you've got a nose in your gap between you and the center, and you're up in your gap, or if you're up in your stance as soon as the ball snapped, it's just not good. So, I mean, him and Anacho have a lot of the same problems. But they also have a lot of the same pros, and that's why I am big fans of both players, because their problems are very fixable at the next level if they go to a team that will coach them out of those bad traits they have. Now to the edge position. I spoiled it. Gabe Akis. Junior, young dude, 22, out of Illinois. My thing with defensive linemen, I just have a knack for loving these wrestlers. These guys who have wrestling backgrounds. Jordan Phillips from Tennessee, or Maryland last year. He played at Tennessee previously. A guy I know pretty well. We trained together in Orlando when I played. Cool guy. He was a former wrestler, and you see him, even as not the heaviest guy. I mean, he's 310 pounds, but he carries it very well. The wrestling background shows so much when you are playing the run. Your lower half strength is just, I mean, it's paramount. So, like I said, leverage and lower body strength really helps him fight off blockers, especially in the run game. He can sit and use those hips and those legs to really anchor down, and with the core strength. Powerful. He's like, I'm trying to think, like my pro comp for him is Matthew Judon, but he has great pop. Like I said here before, anchors in the run game very well. Motor, he just has an endless motor. He will chase down plays from the backside. He just also is a very good stunt man. When you have him on the outside and you stunt him inside, he comes with reckless abandon on the inside, and it doesn't matter if you run him around, he will come back around and try and get at the quarterback. He's just got a great motor. Positional versatility, this one isn't too important. He plays with his hand in the dirt a little bit, plays a strong side, weak side. He's a stand-up guy too. He's not a guy that you have to put on the weak side of a play, or you have to put uncovered by a tight end, you know. He can play whatever alignment on the edge you need him to. Probably play a 4-eye too, honestly. First step, I think he has a pretty good first step. The speed to power is top tier though. He is very physical, and it's hard for college tackles to handle. In the NFL, it'll be a little easier for NFL guys to handle, and that's what we get into his cons. Specimen, but very unrefined. He needs to work on stemming his rush off of the bull rush. And what I mean by that is, if you're working a bull, you get to a bull rush, right? You're coming off the edge, you get to a bull rush. You've got a hand on the outside shoulder, or the outside shoulder of the tackle, and you got one hand in the middle. You're working half a man. If that quarterback moves up in the pocket, you need to shed to your inside and get to him. Or if you're working a bull rush and the tackle anchors, you have to time that anchor up and have a secondary move ready for you to win. Because once a tackle anchors against a bull rush, your rush is over. If you have no counter move, you're over. It's done. Another problem I have with Akis is his stiffness in his lower half. He doesn't have much of a speed rush. His speed rush is really a speed to bull or speed to power rush. He's not a guy that's really going to bend around the edge, lower his hips and get flexible in his ankles and dip that shoulder and like rip around on a speed rush. It's just not his game, which is fine. Not every tackle, or I'm sorry, not every edge guy has to have that skill set. You can win with his skill set for sure if you refine your pass rush package and work on adding in those counter moves. I think he's also very aggressive in the run game. USC game was one that I did get to watch. I got to watch 3 games of him. A lot of plays where he just crashed inside so hard, and that defense got punished on a few plays there because he just crashes down very hard. He is a heat-seeking missile off of the edge. He just crashes in. So, water break. On to the next player. My boy, Zane Durant. Penn State. Florida guy. Me, him, Jordan Phillips, Tyler Davis, all trained together. Awesome dude. I love this dude. He's great. He was great at Lake Nona High School. Dude, he's awesome. I mean, great guy. Great player. But this isn't a nepotism thing. I swear. He's a damn good player, too. Premier athlete. He is 6 foot 290. He will run a damn good 40. He will light up the underwear Olympics. There are some edge guys, he will genuinely test better than some edge guys. Even from a condensed alignment in a 3-tech, he can still generate a lot of speed to power on the interior. And also the burst he had a really nice sack against Indiana where the burst on the stunt really showed. And I think that's really his skill set in the NFL. I don't have a pro con for him. Because, I mean, it's not a body type you see super often with a 6 foot 290 guy. Usually you see a 6 foot 290 guy at D tackle, or you see a 290 guy at D tackle, and they're either much taller than him or much shorter than him, and they kind of carry that weight differently. He's a yoked up damn 290. And he's an athlete as well. I mean, you could say Ed Oliver, but you don't really want to really compare anyone to Ed Oliver. Especially because I don't think Zane's going in the first 2 rounds. I think he'll, like, maybe his window opens in the 3rd, depending on his combine. But the motor with him as well, very good. And if you want a penetrating 3-tech, go get Zane Durant. I mean, there's just no better penetrating 3-tech in this class, I don't think. The cons are really obvious. Smaller. I mean, 32-inch arms. Whatever. But he's smaller. I mean, there's no getting around it. He's a smaller guy. And he does struggle with his anchor. He's a penetrating guy. He's not a guy who's really going to hold his own against double teams and own the gap. Or own a gap and a half. It's just really not going to happen. And another thing, if he really wants to get that speed rush off, he's got to be off the ball first and really get those hands into the guy's chest plate. If he's not doing that, he's not playing his best. And that's just the truth. He's a smaller guy, and the margin for error is much smaller. Ask a guy like Aaron Donald. He had to be great at everything. He had to be the best athlete on the interior for him to be as dominant as he was. Now, I'm not comparing him to Aaron Donald, but I'm saying if he wants to succeed and have a very good career in the NFL, he's got to be perfect at everything. And I think he has the work ethic to do that, knowing him personally. He puts in work. And I think that definitely he will be putting in that work and refining his game. Harold Perkins, he's one that I love, but he just has no position. I mean, he's a linebacker, but he played like more on the slot from the games I watched at LSU. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's so fast. Sideline to sideline guy. The motor is crazy. As a pass rusher, he has... When we talked about Gabe Akis not having the speed and bend around the edge or the speed and rip around the edge, it's all Harold Perkins has. He's 6 foot 222, and all he has as a pass rusher is the great first step and the ability to bend. In coverage, playing as like a slot overhang guy, plays the ball very well. He just has a knack for getting to the ball, forces fumbles. He's got nasty to his game, and I really do like that as a tackler. He's 6 foot 220. He comes down with speed and lays into people. He really puts it into people. He plays really every position on lineman on the field. I mean, he's played a little bit as a lot as a slot, edge. Played a little bit as like a strong safety playing down in the box. Not obviously listed as safety, but he's played a little bit at alignment. If you want to be an edge player, he doesn't have any pass rush moves. I mean, a little bit of a swipe, but he just has this really speed around the edge. Very small. If you want him to be an edge player or a linebacker, even for a linebacker, he's small. He's 6 foot 222. He's a tweener between like slot, edge, and linebacker. The power, he's not a great run defender because of his inability to really stack and shed. He doesn't have the power to play. He does, however, when he plays the run, what he is good at is chasing on the backside. If there's an open gap, he will shoot the gap and he'll make some splash plays as a linebacker by shooting a gap before anyone can get there. But I mean, that's what he has to do. He's small. It's what he's good at. ACL injury, he did miss a year. I want to say he missed 2024 with an ACL. I mean, you could be worried about it. I don't know. I don't think it's big of a deal. I mean, it's ACL. Nowadays, it's like breaking a toe or something. But Harold Perkins, I had him as like a much worse not worse, but like much less refined Hassan Reddick. I mean, he could be an edge player if he developed, or he could be a linebacker. I just don't think he has edge or linebacker in him. So he's kind of in the Hassan Reddick tweener category. All right, corner. Chandler Rivers. Listen. Chandler Rivers is literally a Meek Robertson. There's just no way around it. He's a Meek Robertson. He's fast. He does a great job playing in zone coverage, breaking down the ball, and making plays on the ball. Short, but he's a jumper. He has great hops. I mean, he gets up and plays the ball. His lower half is phenomenal. I mean, his footwork is great. He can come down and play press man coverage, and not press man, I mean tight man coverage. He's not putting his hands on people really, because he's short and he has short arms. But I mean, his mirroring ability is pretty good. I mean, his feet are really fluid and really in tune with the rest of his body. But he did play a good bit in the slot too. I just don't think he's a slot corner. I don't think he's strong enough or good enough of a tackler to really be a slot corner. 5'9", outside corner, like I said just now, isn't ideal. Slides inside of the slot on third down for Duke. Was a trend I noticed a little bit throughout a couple of games. He tries to play the run. I mean, it's not that he's unwilling, but he does try to play the run, but he does get overpowered by receivers blocking him, linemen coming to block him. God forbid a lineman comes and gets him. I mean, he's 5'9", 185. He's getting smoked. And that's not even a hate towards him. I mean, if a 6'5", 325-pound guy comes to me, I'm getting smoked. He's also a very aggressive corner. He bites on zone coverage sometimes, especially in the Tampa 2 alignment. When he's playing in the flats, he bites on a lot of things and allows balls to get thrown behind his head. So if you have a later route, like maybe you have a swing route coming and he takes an in-breaking route, it just happens. He's aggressive. He's going to jump on the first thing. He's going to jump where he thinks the ball's going, and he does abandon his assignment sometime in Tampa 2. Gee, that's got really nasally. Ugh. All right. But yeah, I watched his Clemson tape and a couple of other games. I like him. I think he could be an outside corner. I think him and D'Angelo Pons make a great tag team of like 5'9" outside corners that you're like what the hell? Like, okay. Move to safety, much different player. Jalen Kilgore, 6 foot 211. I like Jalen Kilgore. Former receiver, plays the ball really well. I mean, he just gets some nice interceptions. I mean, he's not a super high production guy because he plays like exclusively in the slot. But he's a hard hitter. I mean, he hits hard. You would not be able to tell me this guy used to play receiver. He hits like a linebacker. He does a good job in zone coverage from the slot. He does really recognize route concepts. His arms are really long. I think I said that already. Am I tweaking? I said that already. Run defender. Secure tackler, but also is a big hitter. He brings it. And he can play the run really from any alignment. He can play from a wide slot guy to more of like a strong safety, or even like kind of lined up like in line with the linebackers. His footwork is really good for a slot. I think if you put him on the outside, he'll get smoked, especially in man coverage. But from the slot, the footwork you need to play in the slot, he has smooth movement in the slot. Here we are. Technique. He's a wide receiver that just converted to corner. And then he went to safety, and now he's playing the nickel. When he plays press man coverage on the outside, or not the outside, I'm sorry, in the slot, I mean, if he doesn't get his hands on you, he's cooked. Even if you were to put him outside, same thing. I mean, he's probably cooked out there. He does do a good job in zone coverage. But Antonio Williams took his lunch money. He could not keep up with Antonio Williams, a smaller, more elusive, good route runner of a slot receiver at Clemson. the inexperience, the tweener skill set, and the deep speed for Kilgore. Obviously, he's probably not going to be an outside corner. He will likely start out as a nickel or a safety. And I don't really have a comp from off the top of my head, but I think it's a valuable skill set. I think his inability to play man coverage is all right. You could put him back at safety or play him as like your strong safety guy and have him play in the nickel as well. But with the league moving towards a 4-2-5 or a nickel-based defense, there's a role for this guy. So it's been a really fun episode. This episode's probably really unprofessional and really all over the place, and for that I do apologize. I'm recording this at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm freezing my balls off. It is Florida should not be this cold. It is. I want to say it's 36 degrees right now. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, thank you for watching. We're up next. Trust. You will like and subscribe though. You will like and subscribe.